After 60, every meal starts to feel like more than just food. It becomes a quiet conversation with time itself. The choices we make at the table can either extend our life or quietly take from it. I've met people who thought eating fish was always healthy. It's lean, they said. It's natural. But what if that's not the whole truth? Some fish carry heavy metals, mercury, cadmium, and microplastics, that build up in the body like hidden rust. For someone younger, it might not show right away. But for a 65-year-old heart or a 70-year-old liver, that hidden rust matters. And yet other fish, the clean, cold water ones, carry oils that protect your brain, soften inflammation, and slow the silent decline that age brings. So today, we open this truth. Not every fish is your friend. Some nourish longevity, some quietly shorten it. The wisdom lies in knowing which is which. Welcome back, everyone. I'm John, and today we're joined by the remarkable Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, a man who's dedicated his life to understanding how we can live longer, healthier, and clearer. Doctor, thank you for being here.
Thank you, John. It's an honor to speak with those who truly wish to live well, not just live long.
Doctor, many older adults believe fish is the healthiest protein they can eat. But you've said some are actually dangerous after 60. Why is that?
Because the body after 60 becomes more delicate in how it filters what we eat. Fish like tuna, swordfish, and king mackerel contain high mercury levels. Over time, mercury travels to the brain, weakening memory and balance. It burdens the kidneys too, organs that already work slower with age. But when you choose clean, smaller fish, like sardines or wild salmon, you give your body nourishment without poison. They carry omega-3 oils that strengthen the heart, clear inflammation in the joints, and even lift mood. Health isn't just about eating what's called good. It's about choosing what your age can safely process. The older you grow, the more gently you must live, even in what you eat.
Doctor, many of us grew up hearing that fish is one of the healthiest foods we can eat. Full of protein, low in fat, good for the heart. But you mentioned earlier that after 60, some fish can actually harm the body. Can you explain why that happens and what's really going on inside us when we keep eating those bigger kinds of fish?
John, that's a very important question. You see, the truth is that not all fish are created equal. Nature gave us beautiful, diverse creatures in the sea, but the ocean has also become the world's mirror. Everything we put into it comes back to us through what we eat. Over the decades, industrial waste, plastics, and heavy metals have entered the water, and large predatory fish, the ones that live the longest and eat smaller fish, collect those toxins in their bodies. Fish like tuna, swordfish, and king mackerel are powerful swimmers. They travel great distances and live for many years. But that strength and lifespan also mean they carry high concentrations of mercury, cadmium, and even microplastics. When a young person eats them occasionally, the body can usually process and eliminate some of those metals. But after 60, the liver and kidneys don't work with the same efficiency. They filter slower, and what was once manageable begins to quietly accumulate. Mercury in particular is deceptive. You don't taste it, you don't see it, but it hides in the tissue of the fish. Once inside the human body, it crosses into the brain and nervous system. Over time, it interferes with memory, balance, and focus, symptoms many older adults dismiss as normal aging. Yet often it's not age alone. It's what the body has been forced to carry. Mercury also binds to enzymes that control energy production in cells. That means fatigue, brain fog, and low motivation can sometimes come not from years lived, but from years of exposure. I remember one patient, a retired teacher who loved eating grilled tuna 3 or 4 times a week. She was healthy, active, kind, but she began noticing tremors in her hands and struggled to remember words she once spoke with ease. Tests showed elevated mercury levels. When we removed high-mercury fish from her diet, slowly her energy returned and her hands steadied. The body can heal even late in life if we stop giving it poison disguised as food, so the message is simple but vital. After 60, your body is more like a finely aged instrument, beautiful, delicate, responsive. You must tune it with care. Avoid the large, long-living fish. They may look strong and full of power, but that power carries a hidden weight. Instead, seek the humble, smaller fish, the ones that live closer to the surface, that eat clean. They give you life without taking it away. The goal is not to eat more, but to eat wiser. And in doing so, you protect not only your years, but the clarity and dignity of how you live them.
Doctor, you mentioned that smaller, cleaner fish, like sardines and wild salmon, can actually help protect the body as we age. Many people listening today might wonder, how can such simple fish make such a powerful difference? What is it about these choices that helps us stay strong, clear-minded, and balanced, even in our later years?
John, that is a beautiful question, because it brings us back to the heart of simplicity. Health after 60 is not about chasing superfoods or expensive supplements. It's about returning to what nature already perfected. Smaller fish like sardines, anchovies, and wild salmon live shorter lives and feed lower on the ocean's chain. This means they absorb less pollution, fewer heavy metals, and more of what actually sustains us. Their bodies are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, not just the kind that doctors mention for the heart, but the kind that soothes the body's silent inflammation, the invisible fire that slowly erodes our joints, arteries, and even our thoughts as we age. Our cells become less flexible. The membranes stiffen, communication between cells weakens, and this affects everything, from how your heart beats to how your brain remembers. Omega-3 oils act like gentle repairmen. They soften those membranes, improve blood flow, and allow oxygen to move freely again. This is why people who eat these clean, oily fish regularly often feel lighter in their body and clearer in their mind. Their skin glows differently, their joints ache less, and their mood becomes more stable. Science calls it biochemical balance, but I like to think of it as harmony returning to the body. Another remarkable gift of these fish is their protein quality. Many people after 60 begin losing muscle mass, not because they're inactive, but because their digestion slows down and they absorb less from what they eat. The proteins in sardines and wild salmon are gentle. They digest easily and rebuild tissues without stressing the digestive organs. I often tell my patients, if you eat these fish twice a week, it's like giving your body a soft tune-up, the kind that keeps your engine running quietly and efficiently without pushing it too hard. I remember one man in his 70s, a painter who used to feel constant stiffness in his hands. He began eating grilled sardines and small portions of salmon regularly, and within months he told me he could hold his brush again with ease. His art came back to life, and so did he. It wasn't magic. It was nutrition aligning with biology. Nature doesn't rush, and neither should we. The older we become, the more we must eat in ways that respect the pace of our body. Small fish, gentle oils, clean protein, these are not luxuries. They are quiet medicine from the sea. So when you choose your meals, think of them as small acts of care. Avoid the grand, heavy choices, and instead honor the simple ones that love you back. The sea has always offered both poison and healing. Wisdom is knowing which to take.
Doctor, earlier you said something that really stayed with me. That longevity isn't just about living longer, but about eating in a way that your body can safely process. For so many people, especially after 60, eating has become confusing. Every headline seems to say something different. One day, a food is healthy, the next day, it's dangerous. How can older adults really know what it means to eat mindfully for longevity?
John, that confusion is something I see everywhere, and it comes from forgetting one simple truth. Our body is not a machine. It is a living memory of everything we've eaten, felt, and experienced. When we are young, the body forgives us easily. We can eat late at night, drink something heavy, skip a meal, and it still manages to repair itself. But after 60, that forgiveness becomes slower. The organs that once worked quietly and endlessly now need our cooperation. Eating mindfully means understanding this partnership. It's no longer about feeding hunger, it's about feeding life itself. People often ask me, "Doctor, what's the best diet for longevity?" And I always tell them, there is no universal diet, only a personal one. What you eat should match your age, your rhythm, your energy. At 60, digestion slows, the stomach produces less acid, and the body absorbs fewer nutrients. So if you eat the same way you did at 40, you are asking your body to run a race it no longer wishes to run. Mindful eating is slowing down, chewing longer, tasting fully, and choosing food that gives strength without leaving heaviness behind. It's not about restriction, it's about alignment. I once treated a man in his late 70s who used to skip breakfast and eat large dinners. He believed it was discipline. But his sleep was poor and he felt tired every morning. We simply reversed his pattern: a warm light breakfast, a balanced lunch, and a simple early dinner of steamed vegetables and fish. Within a month, he told me he felt younger, calmer, more awake. Nothing magical, just rhythm restored. You see, food is not just calories or nutrients. It's energy carrying a message. If we eat chaotically, our body becomes chaotic. When we eat with intention, our body finds peace again. Longevity isn't just about adding years to life. It's about adding awareness to each meal, gratitude to each bite. You don't need exotic foods or complicated plans. Even the act of drinking warm tea instead of something sugary is a quiet message of care to your organs. Small, consistent kindness, that's what builds a strong old age. After 60, we must live as gardeners, not consumers, tending gently to what keeps us alive, pruning what no longer serves us. Mindful eating is not about rules. It's about respect for the body that has carried you so far, and for the years that still wait to be lived well.
Doctor, listening to you today reminds me that health isn't just science. It's gratitude in motion. What we choose to eat, how we rest, how we breathe. It all becomes a quiet reflection of how much we value our own time on this earth.
Yes, John. Every choice is a small whisper to your future self. Eat gently, move often, forgive quickly. The body listens to kindness. Longevity is not about resisting age. It's about walking with it gracefully. When you eat clean, when you live slowly, your days don't just grow longer. They grow lighter. Remember, health is not something you chase. It's something you care for, one calm moment at a time.
Beautifully said, Doctor. And to everyone listening, if today's words brought you peace or clarity, remember to follow and subscribe. Your journey to mindful living continues here.